And as you go into this course, you will learn exactly this: when to use what. Yeah. So yeah.
So this may sound really good. Can you give some reference pointers, to break through the things?
Sure.
So that keep out in the face.
Yes. So some basic idea was this: in a book.
A book or your URL something.
Yeah. So one, of course, is you can listen to these lectures again and again. They'll be on YouTube. Okay. The second is, of course, you can go to Google and search this concept. But Google can sometimes be very confusing.
Yeah.
Because if these are taught mechanically, then you lose the fun of it.
So can I have a single equation formula which shows the relation between variance and standard deviation covariance? In a single
There is no single equation formula for this.
single relation is not.
No, never learn statistics formulaically.
No,
Right.
relation between all these things.
Variance of x is summation, yeah, square root of the variance of x is the standard deviation of x, right? Summation xi minus x bar upon n is covariance xy. Right? Remember, don't remember the formula. Remember that covariance means the average distance of the squared deviation, product of the squared deviations. Average value of the product of the squared deviations. Then the formula will come automatically.
Different meaning, every formula.
Pardon?
Every formula has different meaning.
You must understand the meaning. The formula is meaningless. The formula is just what arrives. Yeah? So understand what it is, what it means intuitively. It means the average of the product of the deviations from the mean. Then the formula will automatically motivate. And because this is scale dependent, one of the ways of removing the scale is to do this. Yeah? So this is the correlation coefficient. It lies between math. So don't ever make the mistake of remembering formulae. There are so many formulae, you will not remember them. And formulas don't work because the world is so complex that there is no ready-made formula which you can use for problems. You need to learn to think about the data. Because the problems that the real world puts for you is very, very difficult. They're far more difficult than those problems in MPSC and all those kinds of things for those Gupta books are designed for. Right? They're only meant to pass exams. They're not meant to learn statistics. So, right? So please forget about all that Gupta Empire and statistics. Learn statistics from underlying ideas. Yeah, I think a lot of damage has been done from teaching statistics from formulae way. But there are no formulae. And there are no, is there a standard formula to deal with the real world? No. Real world is increasingly complex. Structure of the data, meaning of the data, everything is changing. So primarily you need to think about the data. Would you ever go to a doctor who had a formula for everything? Right? You have to understand physiology, you have to understand thinking about things rather than using some formulas for bukhar and paracetamol, go home, right? It doesn't work like that, right? So you need to learn to think about formulae, and therefore this is about how to think about formulae, think about data, right? So this is what, but it, yeah, you're right, it helps to sort of fix this formulae.
Sir,
Yeah.
one more thing, when you took this example of maths and literature and wala problem, okay, so the increasing sample size of the students also would have helped in improving the covariance, right?
No, increasing sample size of students would have helped me in bringing my sample covariance closer to the real population covariance. So suppose there is some covariance between maths and literary abilities for the city of Mumbai as a whole. I have taken one sample. I want a sample estimate. It will be different from the population estimate. Right? Right. So it's population number. All that the theorem says is that as I keep on increasing my sample size of the randomly chosen students, then the sample estimate will get closer and closer to what the actual population estimate is. Right? So that is the whole thing of the law of large numbers, or the consistency.
So any recommendation on books?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Your style of thinking and not only formula based.
So I have written a book which is called It's called Principles of Econometrics using R. It's now a little bit of an outdated book, and my own ideas about how to teach this have changed quite a lot. But at least these basic things are same. The Sage publishes in 2010. I think you can get it in Amazon, or you can now get it in Sterling as well. Some of the bookshops in Mumbai, right? Unfortunately, there is no soft copy of this. I tried to look for it, but I don't get a soft copy. At least from an author point of view, I feel nice. As a teacher, I feel sad that I can't find a soft copy which I can give to you. Right? So that's one book that you can use. What is the other book? I don't really know. So
Lady tasting tea.
yeah, the book called Lady Tasting Tea. Yes, but that's an introduction to statistics. It's a very interesting book called. Have you seen this book? Yeah. Lady Tasting Tea is a
Tasting.
yeah. Sorry, yeah. Lady Tasting Tea. Right. So this book was actually the Lady Tasting Tea is the captures an incident in Cambridge when R.A. Fisher involved in the Great Section R.A. Fisher, where the question was there was this debate about whether tea tastes better if you first put in the tea leaves and then add milk, or if you add milk first and then put in the tea leaves. Right. So there was some actual statistical testing with that, and so this book is an introductory thing about statistics, which is a very friendly kind of an introduction to thinking about data. Which you can find Lady Tasting Tea, but it is not a formal book, so you will not be able to derive things or make groups. Ultimately, what we have to learn to is derive things, prove things. If I want to know some quantity out there which I cannot know, what kind of an estimator will I design so that I can estimate that quantity, and what kind of properties will that estimator have? Will it be a desirable estimator, will it be an undesirable estimator? That is what we want to really learn in this course, right? So therefore you need to derive a lot of things, because derive theorem, prove theorems, derive theorem, at least the basic minimal things हमको करना पड़ेगा, right? So as you go on, this course will become a little bit tougher, right? And so therefore please make sure that you do all the exercises properly, right? All the exercises properly, so that you make sure that you are all on the same page and you are keeping up. I also realize that many of you are working. If many of you are working, then it is very difficult for me to have a test, right? Because if I want to have a test, then many of you have legitimate problems. Some of you need to go out for work, and you don't get time to prepare and so on. So this keeps you always test ready. If you are solving this, then you are test ready. It makes testing easier for me. Because this is continuous evaluation, so please make sure that you take this very, very seriously. That's the way you're going to learn this. Okay. So thank you, folks. Right. I don't want to clutter you too